If we are going to change things, the first step is to acknowledge that politics in the United States does not begin and end at the federal level.
But the federal government is important.
Of course, but it's not where we start, especially if money is an issue.
But they violate the 10th Amendment.
Undoubtedly, they all do. Democrat and Republican alike. But why?
Because they have been there too long. And those darn lobbyists.
Sure, but why else?
Don't know.
They do it because they think they are supposed to, because we continue to let them.
Who lets them? I didn't let them.
We do. The voters do, and most of all, the state governments do. That's why state elections are as important, or maybe even more important than federal elections.
But our state government is controlled by Republicans.
Okay, and your point is?
Aren't they better at controlling the budget than the Democrats?
Maybe. But they're terrible at turning down money from the federal government.
My state representative goes to church every Sunday and has 4 children.
So, how does that make him tough on protecting your rights?
Don't know. What do?
We make sure that we elect representatives at the state level who are willing to turn down federal money. And all the strings attached.
How do we do that?
We probably should think outside the Republican box, don't you think?
Maybe. But running as an independent is really hard.
Yeah. Is that what your Republican committee types tell you?
Yeah.
Sure. Is anything that is going to actually make a difference extremely easy?
Well, you have a point.
It's not that easy to do it through the Republican Party either. Otherwise, why would we be here?
So how would a conservative party be successful?
I think it would be very helpful if it organized on issues instead of elections.
But if you don't elect the right people, you cannot get anything done.
True. But if you are not confident that they are going to do the right thing, why waste the time?
Okay, so what about ballot access?
What about it?
Is it not harder for independents and third parties?
Yep. Sure it is. So we probably have to work harder, don't we?
Yeah. Probably.
However, if the major parties are only going to work on elections, then we should have little trouble differentiating ourselves if we work on ideas and policy. Right?
Makes sense.
And since elections, even at the state level, are still expensive, we should build a movement on ideas, and not personalities and campaigns.
Well, what ideas?
Exactly what we just described as the problem, getting and keeping the government out of the state's business.
Okay, and what else?
The budget. If the state government is going to turn down federal money, it had better get serious about spending its money wisely, don't you think?
Sure. But what would they cut?
Great question. What do you think?
Well, the biggest thing that every state spends money on is healthcare, education, and transportation. So we should probably start there, shouldn't we?
Sounds pretty crazy. But I agree. Let's start there.
Okay, but something is still bothering me.
What's that?
How do we organize a whole state? Won't we be spread out?
Probably. So what do we do about that?
Well, not sure.
Wouldn't it be easier to organize at the local level?
But how would we do that?
I do not know for sure. But I think we just did it. So let's start with education.
Wait. Are you about to tell me that people should be able to choose how their children are educated?
How did you know that? You are a genius.